right, here it is. I've got a little candle. I might snuff this out at some point. I've got just like some things to, I guess, decorate the space because I didn't want it to be looking super duper empty. But this is a Leuchtturm 1917 journal. It's like in this darkish, I think it's like wine red or something similar. And yeah, so let's get into it. This is the dotted version of it, which I do enjoy as a journal in general over like lined and all that stuff. So yeah, so these are just sticky notes. We're going to ignore those. And I've just got like some stickers on the, I guess, name page. I didn't want to fill anything out because I'm going to screw up my name. Just turn down the brightness a little because the page, this is a very white page. So yeah, I'm just gonna, there we go. So I just got some, stickers. I love owls, so an owl sticker was necessary. And then we've got some, astronomy related stickers, huge space fan. So yeah, and there's nothing really on the front because I throw it in my bag all the time. So this is an index page, so to speak. I haven't really updated this. So I don't think I will because it's just like the two pages. There's nothing more on the other side, so I'd have to do it manually, which I don't trust myself enough to do because there's no dots on here. So yeah, I think I'm just going to keep it like this. Eventually I'll fill this out once the whole journal, I think, is done. So yeah, this is just like a regular, this is like the very first dotted page. I just left it. I don't know if I'm going to do like a cover or anything. I might just leave it like this. Here we have like a spacing grid kind of thing. I just did this on a whim. It would be easier. I don't really use this, but it's nice to have. So first thing we have is a 2026 overview. I'm not sure if I like the way that this turned out. I think I would have liked if the squares were a little more square and less rectangle, like maybe one more space, which, would shift everything and maybe fill out the whole space, but then I might not have room for, a title. So I'm not sure if I like the way this has turned out, but we will deal with it until next year, so to speak. Or if I end up finishing this journal before the year ends, then I might redo this in another journal or something like that. Then we have a very fun page. I'm just going to twist it like this. So I did make a mistake. I will fix that at some point. So this is our bingo page. This is actually, and I don't have the title here or anything, but this is a bingo page with the 2026 Museum Society Book Club picks, both for the fiction list and the classics list. So there's quite a few. And so these ones with like the large, I guess, the capitals, so to speak, all throughout in this blue, black, blue, black ink are the January to June picks. And then these purple, slightly cursive ones are the July to December picks, just in a way to differentiate them. And so when I was making this and assigning each place, and it's Lord of the Rings themed, assigning each place to a book, it wouldn't be easy to get like a bingo if you read all the books in the first half of the year, So, and please ignore the mistake. So the mistake is these two are not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be Last Contract of Isako is supposed to be here. Here's the Mer, and then Tempest is supposed to be there. But yeah, and yeah, this is a spoiler for, I guess, second half of the year. I've marked out the books. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, I haven't filled this out. I'm not sure how I'm going to, mark off that I read the book and stuff. I might buy like star stickers or something like that, or little book stickers or something. Okay, I'm gonna snuff this out because the smell's getting very strong. And move it here. Whew, the smell's getting very strong. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna mark them because I read Library of Amerlin, I read Last Contract of Isako, and I have read Murder on the Orient Express, which was it was fantastic, but I wasn't really expecting to read it, this early on, and I frankly completely forgot that this was one of the July to December picks because we're not in the July to December realm yet, so I'm not actively interacting with the books. Anyways, with that out of the way, we've come to one of my favorite pages. I think it turned out fantastic. This was such a pain to do, but I think it turned out really fun. This is my 2026 best book bracket, and this was really difficult. I'm not an artsy person, if you can't tell. I'm not very good at drawing straight lines if I don't have dots to guide me, right? And you can still see some of the pencil marks, but that's okay. Maybe it's not as visible on camera. I can't really tell. But yeah, so this is a best book bracket, and it's just January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And then it just goes, and then the best book here. So I've got the first 3 months, and I've just got like a bunch of stickers, another owl, a little whale, a dragon, a little stack of books with a plane on them, butterflies, moon, raspberries, mushrooms. I love raspberries. So this is my series tracker, and I do know there is, in fact, a mistake because Legendborn 4 has not come out yet. We don't even have an announcement for Legendborn 4, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 5 books, if I understand correctly. So there's that. But I think I'm doing okay as far as series trackers go. It's not the best, but like, for example, I made some decent progress on Spy X Family. I finished Lovelight Farms, you know. So yeah, I have all Stormlight done, you know. A lot of these actually would be filled out if I actually counted the ones that I read. So there's that. And I really like the switch between like the brown and the purple. I find that that's a very common theme with those two colors. I really like purple as a color, and I like this specific shade of brown. So yeah, and then moving on, we go to books bought in the first quarter. So I bought like 20 something books. Majority of these, if you can't tell, were actually secondhand books. So yeah, I still have to fill this out, but okay. BMV, we've got Indigo, we've got Balfour Books, Sellers and Newell, Kindle, Amazon, whatever. BMV books. So most of them BMV books, most of them secondhand. I think 10 of the books that I bought were new, and not even 10. 8 of the books technically, because my boyfriend bought me 2 books. He bought me more, I think, but I don't remember which ones they were. Then this is like a author tracker kind of thing. I've got a couple of authors on here. I've got Jane Austen, Tolstoy, Bulgakov, Gaskell, Joan He, Mary Shelley, obviously Emily Varga, all the, you know, people and everything that I want to read more from and stuff like that. And yeah, some of these I should have filled out already. The ones where I'm meant to find Strike the Zither, Frankenstein I read already. You know, Count of Monte Cristo I've read. Silence of Bones, Crane Among Wolves I've read already, but I do want to reread these, so hence why I haven't filled it out yet. And then just like mushrooms, a little fairy drawing and stuff like that, a sticker, a book. And then this is my, again, this doesn't have a title, but I know what it is, so not necessary for me to have a title. And I find that sometimes if you have too many titles, it just looks off. Like, you don't need a title all the time, right? So this is actually my Jules Verne Voyage Extraordinaire or Extraordinary Voyages, however you want to talk about it. These are separated into specific categories, according to the Wikipedia page. So I separated them into specific categories and hoping to read 5 of the books on here. So we've got Europe, Africa, 2 Americas, Celestial Spaces, Robinson Cycle, World Tours, Asia, Seas and Oceans, Oceania and Australia, and the Polar Lands. And I've got some stickers relating to sort of adventure and, you know, like a tall tree and all that stuff. So yeah. Next, we have my 2026 reading goals, which is a very fun, I think, spread. I like all the butterflies and stuff like that. I really like this and stuff. So here I'm just like adding a star to every book that I read. I don't know if I'm going to continue after 25, but yeah. And then this is just like a nice overview of general reading goals, I guess. Is this in focus? Please tell me it's in focus. I don't know if it's in focus. I think it's in focus. Y'all would tell me if it wasn't in focus, right? I think it's in focus. Yeah. So yeah, and then just a couple of 2026 social media goals and stuff. Obviously, I'm going to check these off at the end of the year, and we'll come back to it. But yeah, this is just like a social media tracker, I guess. We're not doing so hot. At least on Instagram, I'm losing followers. But also, like, I deleted Instagram for like a month. So that's probably why. But yeah, it's a little frustrating because I'm trying, but Instagram doesn't want to, you know, give it to me. But yeah. So this is the book club page. Again, I know what this is because I made it. And I don't see the need for a title. This is the nonfiction books, and obviously the ones in the blues are the extras, and then one fiction, one classic. And then, as I said, this is a spoiler, but you know, I've got the books for July to December planned out. And then this is a 2025 physical TBR. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep this, and whatever I read from this, I'm going to mark off. And then I think maybe halfway through the year, so like I want to say June or the third quarter probably, or something like that, I'm going to make like an updated version, you know, or something like that. I'm not too sure. Or I might just like leave this for the whole year, right? Because I did this at the end of 2025, right? And then come 2027, I will do it at the end of 2026. I'll make another physical TBR thing in the next journal. So, because I want to continue this. So I've got quite a few books. Quite a few are read, so which is great. We always want that, but again, quite a few are not. So then we have an Odyssey and Iliad tracker. I do have plans for this, but it's just translations that I really want to read in the near future, so to speak, and also kind of like a way to track what translations I actually have and what translations are possible to find, so to speak. Like, for example, I have Mendelssohn, I have Wilson, I have Fagles, I have Iliad Fitzgerald, and I have Ryu, for example, right? I've got Fitzgerald, I've got Fagles, do I have Fagles? I've got Fagles, I've got Wilson, and I think that's it. No. So I really want to get the Verity translation. I like the Oxford Classics versions. But yeah, this is like I don't know. I don't even know what to call this. It says reading list, but it's like, it's not any particular reading list that has like a due date, so to speak, right? And so this is just like separated into categories, so to speak. Nonfiction that I want to get to, Mesopotamian books that I want to get you, Shahnameh, Slavic books, mainly Russian, classics that I want to get to, and I kind of like this page. It's just like a reading list to keep at the back of my head, you know? This was an absolute and utter failure, which is a bummer because this was such a fun page to do in general. And what I did wrong was I didn't fully understand the inspiration. The inspiration had mosaics, right? But it was for each book, not for each day that you read, right? So you're not actively tracking how many pages you read, what genre, the source, and the format. So I kind of fell off in January. I could probably do the February one, you know, just like color it in and make it all colorful, but I don't think I'm going to do this in quarter 2, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can change it a little bit for quarter 2 to fit my needs. Then we've got the quarter 1 hopefuls. Obviously I've only read 3, which is not the end of the world because there were 24 books. And some of them are very, very thick. Like, A Storm of Swords is over 1,000 pages. There's no way I would have gotten that in the first quarter of the year, you know. Second quarter, more realistic, but I didn't add it to my quarter 2 hopefuls because I was like, I'm reading it. I'm not going to add it to my quarter 2 hopefuls. So hopefully by the end of the year, this will all be checked off. So I'm not abandoning these just because I didn't read them in the first quarter, right? I'm going to read, hopefully, all of these, you know. And this is such a fun spot to be in right now. This is the quarter 1 reading wrap up. So I do have a quarter 1 video out by the time you, I think, see this. Obviously, I didn't finish it because I think I got distracted at work or something like that. The Artemis 2 launched, I think, while I was finishing this. So we were kind of locked in with the launch. But yeah, this is just like a journal form of the version that you see on my Instagram, as well as the version I show in the quarter 1 wrap up. This was hell to do because I didn't have a protractor or whatever they're called. So I couldn't really do the angles properly. So I kind of winged it. And I don't think I did a terrible job. But some of these, like the middle is like in between the dots, which is hell because I can't draw a straight line for the life of me. So yeah, that's that. I filled out some things, all that good stuff. Yeah, it looks great. I have a rating thing. I didn't finish this, so not the end of the world, but I still have to fill this out. Have to figure out how many of what I posted, you know, each month or whatever, and then have to fill this out. So this is just another tracker. Start followers at the beginning of the month, finish how many followers I have, and what number of posts, like how many reels, how many videos, all that stuff. So yeah, I haven't been posting on my Substack, but hopefully that's coming soon. So next we have Days a Book Was Finished. At first it was Days a Book Was Finished. And then I was like, Days a Book Was Finished and red. So the orange ones are the ones where I finished a book, and then the pink is where I read a book. So actually, we are going to, because I read a book yesterday, and it is what? The 3rd? It is the 3rd. So I read a book yesterday, and as far as the markers that I'm using, it's just regular Crayolas. They don't really bleed through, I guess. Like, I don't mind if they bleed through or whatever. They do have a habit of just like picking up the ink and kind of messing it around, but not the end of the world. I'm not too much of a stickler about it. Like, I screwed up here. I don't know how people do it. Like, the pens don't fully, I guess, dry with me. I don't know. This is a NetGalley challenge tracker. I did make one for like my stories, like my Instagram story last year, but then I completely forgot to fill it out. But this year I'm doing a much better job. I just have a habit of falling out during like the summer months, but we're doing a better job at tracking this year so far. So yeah, there's a similar version on my Instagram story if you want to use that as well, or if you want to take a picture and use this for your own journal, please go ahead. So I have read, approved, unread, ratio, and starting unread, starting ratio, and all that stuff, and then it continues. And I've got December here, and then finish unread, finish ratio. And then this is an interesting one because it had some, I have an Excel spreadsheet that is a little bit more complicated than this, but yeah, so this is Unread Archives. I started with 120 unread books on my bookshelf, and so we kind of see how this number is going up instead of down. So yeah, it's not a good time, but I mean, it's a great time because I'm getting more books, and I'm also like reading them. So yeah, it's fine, guys. It's fine. It's fine. If I get my unread number of books under 100 this year, that would be fantastic. Like, I would be a very happy camper, you know? Next, we have books read in Q1. So I have a whole page. Honestly, I thought I'd read more, but I did read quite a few I read quite a bit in March. I read 11 books in March. And yeah, I kind of went with different colors just so I can differentiate them in a pinch, so to speak. Books read Q1. And if you've noticed, Q1 has this like sort of reddish, brownish color to it. So that's sort of the vibe of it, so to speak. Just like a blank page, if anything. We've got a book wish list. It's mainly just like fancier editions of like classics. Like, I want this specific Crime and Punishment version. I want this specific Hunchback of Notre Dame, that kind of thing. That might be a little difficult to find. So I'm just going to, you know, add it to like a birthday wish list or something like that, Amazon wish list or whatever. Books read, I'm just going to continue filling this out during the year. This isn't Q1 specific. Not all of these are going to be like Q1 specific. Some of these are actually for the year. I don't have to, you know, write down which ones are for the year versus the quarter because I know, but just to explain that this is for the whole year, and it's like a Kindle, right? And again, with like the smudges, I don't know if you guys have any tips. Like, I'm not impatient, but like, you know what I mean? Anyways, this is my, again, I don't need the title because it's obvious what it is. This is my anticipated releases. You know, I've got them in different like colors, and honestly, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just wanted to differentiate the months at a glance and stuff like that. And yeah, just added some relevant, I guess, stickers and stuff. And then like May has like flowers, June has like, you know, bears, July has like a fox, August has like mushrooms because, you know, fall and everything. Yeah, and please take pictures, take screenshots if you need them, for books that you might be interested in, all that good stuff. Oh God. Okay. My eyes are, you know, betraying me. Yeah. And I have a secondary version of this, so to speak, although I messed up, but I'll talk about it. Because at some point I ran out of space for like, I think it was March actually, or maybe February, or I think it was June, actually, if I remember correctly. A lot of books coming out in June. Yeah. So I wanted to make a second one that's uses the same color, so it doesn't matter. Nothing really in December, and very little in November and October because we don't have all the, you know, information yet and all that stuff. So, but yeah, that will fill out when we get to it. Audiobooks I've listened to. I want to get more into audiobooks. My goal is to listen to at least 3 audiobooks, but once I achieve something, I will want to do more of it. It's just like a little playlist kind of thing. You know, I haven't really filled it out, unfortunately, but and I screwed up here, but hopefully you can't see that too much on camera. This is my Read Across the Continents challenge, and I thought I really like this page. Now, I tried to find relevant, I guess, stickers and stuff, so Africa books, I guess. This is specifically like Lake Erie, Pennsylvania, so it's like Canada and the US, because we share the lakes with, I think this is, yeah, we share the lakes with the US, so I wanted North America, Antarctica. This is more Arctic, but you know what I mean, South America, you know, Australia, Oceania has a lot of like different animals and stuff like that. South America, I believe this is the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, the Gulf of Mexico, which isn't entirely South America, I know, but it's, you know, close enough. Yeah. This is my journal, so like I'm gonna do whatever the heck I want, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna fill this out as I read the books and stuff. This is my romance TBR. The ones with the red hearts in the hearts, it means that I've read the books. So yeah, we're doing pretty well, honestly. Then I have a Kindle TBR. There's a lot of books on here. Some are KU, some are, you know, stuff I've gotten and all that stuff. I'm just gonna continue with this. Obviously, I don't know if I'm going to add to this, but I'm going to try to get this down. So there's that. And I've gotten quite a few of these knocked out of the park, which is great. We have a science fiction TBR. I wanted to make it like very science fiction-y, so hence the stars and kind of that. This is kind of bothering me, but whatever. I have a mystery thriller TBR, and I made a little ghost, but he turned out a little chubbier than expected, but I thought it was very cute regardless. And I've already read one of the books, Murder on the Orient Express, which I gave a 4.75 stars. And then this is, again, I don't need a title for it because I know what it is, but you might not know what this is. This is my YouTube videos I posted on YouTube during the first quarter, and I'm gonna do the same for the rest of the quarters just to see how, you know, it goes. I've got the genre, so like, is it a vlog, is it like a yearly thing, is it a quarterly thing, you know, that kind of thing, is it a review, that kind of thing, the date type, is it a vlog or is it a sit down video, and the title, you know, so I can refer back to it and stuff like that. And then obviously for March, it's a different color. And I believe that is it for quarter one. This is books bought quarter two. This is social media. This is a new one that I didn't do at the beginning of the year because I didn't think I would need to, but this is formats. So I've got more Kindle than I have these two because I have been reading a lot on my Kindle, and I messed up with the color, which isn't the end of the world, but it's kind of bothering me. Yeah, that's okay. I'll figure it out. I might just like go over it anyways. So we've got combo, so physical plus audio, or Kindle plus audio, or all three, whatever. Physical, and then obviously Kindle. Quarter two hopefuls, that kind of thing. Books read. And then this is the extension of that releases page. So we're starting April because this is the quarter two kind of thing. So April, May, June. And then I completely messed up. This was supposed to say, so it skips June. This says July, and this says August, which is my stupidity. September, October, November, December, and then I just added an extra June in here. I cut out some of the paper from the back end, and then I just pasted it over so that it looks a little more cohesive because I didn't want to use, you know, correction tape or whatever wet out with the markers because it doesn't look good. Star ratings. I kind of have to figure out if I want to continue this because it looks kind of, I don't know if I like the way, I don't like the way that it looks. It looks so cheesy. It looks awful. And you can barely tell how many, you know, like I'd have to add the numbers. Like you can, I don't really like it. And also the way that this is turning out, not a big fan. But anyways, middle grade TBR. This is a new thing because I want to read more middle grade. So there's that. It's mainly books I've already read, like How to Train Your Dragon, I've read Magic, I think I've read the Iron Trials, I don't remember. Yeah, the rest I haven't read. And then obviously quarter two, reading wrap up, same thing. Looks a little better. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a long one. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And as per usual, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I will see you in the next one. Happy reading!